Judaea, welcome into the podcast. It's great to have you here today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, we have a very special episode for you today. We are talking to the shy royalty, Judaea Brown. And
Thank
I have to say, I've been a fan of this show since the beginning. So I'm excited to talk to you. This is an amazing show, and it really is an honor to have you here with us. I want to just dive right in and start talking about your character that you have created, Jemma St. John.
Yes.
There are a lot of layers to her, and we've gotten exposed to some good, and the viewers might question bad or what really is going on, but we don't know yet because we only have just a few episodes that we're into the season. So
Yes.
let's talk about your character that you have created and how she fits into the shy world for those who might not know immediately about the show or about your character.
Okay. Well, Jemma St. John, she is a currently this season, she's a junior in high school. She is a just a young Black queen. I mean, she is trying to figure out herself and figure out, what she wants to do and the way she really wants to move. But at the same time, she's trying to encourage, like the people around her and Kevin and Jake. So she started off being Kevin's girlfriend. So
Yes.
you guys, gotta keep watching to see what happens. But yeah, so as of right now, I can say Kevin's girlfriend. But my dad, Marcus St. John, he is also tied into the whole like relationship with Rosalind and Duda. So the whole marriage situation. So she's got her hand in a lot of different areas. But yes, that is
Yes. And we're only talking about what we've seen so far. So if you haven't seen, there might be some spoilers clearly because these other episodes have passed, but we're not talking about anything that has happened in the future. Your character is very layered and complicated, but in a good way because she does have her hands in so many different things. And really, your character this season, I think, has become a fan favorite of a lot of people because it's kind of shaking things up this season as far as like the relationship between the guys that are in high school and then you come into the picture and kind of change Kevin's world a little bit and kind of rock his world to some things that he's not used to. But the storylines that you and this cast tackle are meaningful, important, clearly timely as we're talking about this season with police and kind of the overreach that they have perhaps, and even just political in general. I want to ask you this, obviously you guys are filming in Chicago, so that has to help a lot with character. But when you get a script, and obviously we're only talking about current storylines, what is your process today to when you get the script to break it down, to internalize it, and really get into this character, this queen that you mentioned, to create that persona of her? What is your process?
Well, first, Brett, I start off, I read the script, just read it through normal. I don't write any notes. I just read it through like a book. And then I go back and I break down my individual scenes that are me and whoever I'm speaking to, or I also break down the scenes that I might not be in, but they are talking about me. So I usually, I do like a highlighter, I highlight, I do my pen, I look at the scenes and I say, okay, what is Jemma's goal for this scene? And so I break that down and then I tie it all together. And then after I do that, it's usually time for the table read. And so, we all come together as a cast on Zoom. Well, this year on Zoom due to COVID. So we just all go through and reread the script. And then when we get on set, we're ready. I also work with a acting coach. So I do that as well on top of the table read and on top of my own breakdown on the script. So I just do all that. And then when I do it just works out and it's great. And it's been working this long. So that's my little method that I'm going to continue doing.
I love it. Now, your character is I'm assuming, a bit younger than yourself, right? Just by a little bit, which you do a very convincing job of playing, by the way, because when I was doing research about you and seeing your current age and the character that you play on the show, there's a big jump. So to kind of get into that high school mindset is probably, I don't know, do you find yourself being similar to this character, the positive aspects of it at all? Do you relate to it on a personal level internally at all, or is it just completely separate from who you are as an individual, the actress, if that makes sense?
Yes, no, I definitely relate to Jemma. Jemma really does remind me of myself, like how I was in high school. Like I was always kind of like, like the girl the girl who's always trying to do stuff for the culture and have her hand in this or have her hand in that. I was in a whole bunch of activities in high school, like Jemma is as well. So I definitely do relate to her because I do relate to her so easily. It was not that hard to have to switch back into that high school mindset. But yeah, I mean, I say it all the time, Jemma is my best friend and we are like two peas in a pot, literally.
I love it. I love it. Well, you have so many amazing scene partners on this show. Alex Hibbert, of course.
Yes.
And you guys, just the chemistry between the two of you, it's just very authentic. That's one of the things, like going all the way back to season 1 and all of the storylines that we've had. And now we're in this current season. It's just amazing. So you guys obviously have had some intense scene work together. Yeah. What is your process when you're working with him? Because some of these topics can kind of go deep. Like, do you guys talk things through and kind of go, well, what would you do? Or how do you think these two characters would react? Like what is your secret sauce to create, like, outside of the fact you're an amazing actress, but when you're working with him to kind of create this moment that's believable for the viewers?
Well, what we do, it really like depends on the scene. If it's a light, like easy, like breezy scene, then we'll, go over, we'll FaceTime on our own or go through it. But when it's a heavy scene, whether, it's like heavy just on emotion or heavy in words, we will literally try to like not talk to each other like that day until we do it. Like, like I'm trying to think of a quick scene from last season that I did with him that we didn't speak on. Oh, okay, perfect. Last season when we were in the pancake house, and we had the little argument or whatever. So that day, like we just kind of stayed away from each other. We just kind of like, we didn't really look at each other. We didn't really talk with each other because we wanted that energy and those emotions to come through. I mean, there's been times, in the past where Kevin and Jemma didn't talk. So we try to bring it into real life and stay separated. So when we come back, it's real, and it's authentic and it plays out real well on screen. But yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to Michael. I mean, shout out to Shaman and Genesis. Like, those are my babies and I love them like so much. They are so amazing. I am so blessed and so lucky. Like, I really do love my cast, for real.
Yeah, so not a lot of playing around like at craft services on the days where like a lot of stuff that happens on a film set. Like, there's a lot of hanging out, a lot of joking. I could see that because it kind of builds the pressure externally, and I know our listeners find that stuff so intriguing. So when you first booked the role, you've been in Chicago for a long time, you've done other projects. What was it like when you found out that you were going to be a part of this universe that's just phenomenal?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Brett. When I found out about it, I didn't know that Jemma would be like, not a big deal, but I didn't know that Jemma would be this involved in the series. So it was like I was so excited because I love The Chi and being from Chicago. Like, I was so honored to be able to be a part of this, but I didn't know like that she would be able to have this opportunity to just be seen. So it's really like I'm just going through it feels like I just booked the role all over again, honestly. I mean, because last season, you know, I was on a few episodes. This season, I'm on all 10 episodes. So it's just like, it's crazy, but I am so grateful and I just get so excited. I get emotional. I mean, just being from Chicago and being on The Chi, like, it can't get any better than this.
Right. And you don't have to travel a lot to get to work because you're already.
Yeah, no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. Now, I know from the last season to this season, we had a pretty big break. I'm guessing that was due to COVID and not being able to film and things like that. But obviously, you've been able to get episodes out because we're almost halfway, if not more, to the end of the season already, which is hard to believe because it just goes by so fast.
So fast. So fast.
Yeah, it's crazy. So what do friends and family think? Well, obviously, when you decided you wanted to be an actor, what was the response from family? That's the first question. And the second, what do your friends think now about you and the fact that you're on this fantastic show, this Emmy Award winning nominated show that's just so good?
Okay, so first, when I first realized that I wanted to start acting, I was 5 and I wanted to be on Barney. I just really wanted to be on Barney. I wanted to meet Barney. I wanted to dance with Barney, just that whole life. And I told my mom, and she was like, girl, like, those are actresses and actors. Like, this is not real life. And she was like, I don't even know how to even get you on Barney or get you into the industry or whatever. She was like, so girl, you got to pray about it. And if it's meant to happen, like, it'll happen. So little 5-year-old me was on my knees, praying. And then it ended up happening that I got scouted by a freelance photographer who was attached to an agency. And so then I went and I joined that agency, and then that agency dropped me. And then the agency I'm with now, Great Talent Group. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Kiki. Hi, Karen. Hi, Maggie. They picked me up, and I've been rolling with them since I was 8. So, I mean, the initial response, my mom, like, she was very supportive. My dad was supportive. My aunt was supportive. Everybody, they were kind of unsure because it was different. It wasn't just like, you know, I wanted to do something that they knew a way how to get me into it. So it was just, they were supportive, but they were kind of like confused on how to go about it. And how do my friends feel now? Honestly, Brett, I keep my circle very small.
Okay, I would imagine so.
Yeah, I can honestly count, like, I probably have like 3, maybe 4 friends, you know, who I've known like for the longest. And I mean, to them, like, it's cool, but it's so normal to them because it's like they've been on this journey with me, you know, like seeing me do this or seeing me do this commercial or this movie. So, but they're so proud. They're so proud. They host their own little, like, you know, shy nights or whatever, like with their family, so they can watch it. But they're extremely supportive and they are so proud, and I just love them.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially when you get on a show like this that has the status that it has, right? Like commercials here or maybe arc stories. It has to be great when you start out on a show like this, maybe in a couple episodes, because I know sometimes, from what I understand, you might not know like how much life your character is going to have. But then when there's chemistry and it just hits, like they're like, hey, let's have her come on full time because, and that has to be good for you too. Cause then it's like, well, I don't have to look for another job for a while. At least I can keep working. And, you know, when the money starts coming in and you can pay the bills successfully, it's a good feeling, I think, as an actor. Couple more questions here as we wrap up. I know we have a tight schedule today. Obviously, we all kind of went through this pandemic and life is getting back to normal. People want to know, did you develop any crazy hobbies or skill sets when you had all this time to yourself? Did you bake bread? I mean, what were you doing to fill your time during lockdown?
Really, it was, well, I was in school. So like, even I'm still, you know, like in school. I'm doing everything virtually. So when I wasn't doing that, me and my family, like, we had family cook-offs. Like, my aunt came and literally like stayed with us for like a few months just because we didn't want to be separated, you know? So we all just like got together in quarantine, and like me and my aunt would be on one team and my dad and my mom would be on one team. We would have like these like cook-offs, and we would just make food. Like we made Indian food, we made Ethiopian food. Like we just made all these different types of foods and had like these little contests. And we really we made it a game, Brett. I'm gonna be honest. We made it a game, and we tried to make it as fun as possible. I mean, whether it was who can Swiffer the fastest, like we made everything
I love
a game to try to stay positive and upbeat. And we looked forward to going to the grocery store every 2 weeks to get that toilet paper and get those groceries. So, but it was good though. We played a lot of Phase 10. We played a lot of Uno. And we watched a lot of TV. I'm not gonna lie. We watched a lot of TV. So it was good though. It was needed. I think everybody kind of needed that break, like even though it was forced on us, I think everybody really just needed to pause and breathe and sit down. So I'm grateful,
Yeah, and you're back to work now, so that's fantastic. So one last question. You're in Chicago. The show takes place in Chicago. I was talking to your publicist. You have very cold winters and very hot summers.
Yeah.
When it's freezing cold, I was kind of following a lot of your castmates on Instagram when you guys first started. It was cold, it was snowing. Is it hard to just not be freezing cold and try and work these scenes out, especially when there's piles of snow on the ground and you're filming stuff like maybe you're going to the library or the Shed Aquarium or some of these landmark places that you visit in the show? Is it hard to remember lines when you're freezing, or do you just kind of push through it and make that part of your character?
Yeah, I honestly push through it and I make it, a part of the character. I mean, because I believe it was episode 401 or 402, when we were walking outside and the snow was falling. I mean, we were real life cold. Like I could not feel my hands. I could not feel my feet. Like it was so cold. And as soon as we said cut, we were like running in a group in front of the heater with the little, pocket warmers and stuff. But no, it wasn't hard. I mean, luckily, because we're in the cold, we didn't have to act like we weren't cold, you know what I mean? Because we were outside. So it just really helped, to go along with the character and the scene we were doing. But we figured it out.
Yeah, it's not like you're in Atlanta where it's 105 and you have to pretend like it's 50 below zero outside and you're wearing crazy jackets and hats. And I was talking to some cast members from The Walking Dead that film in Atlanta, and they were saying like some of these winter scenes where it's supposed to be cold and it's like 112 degrees outside, and you've got coats on, but that's a sacrifice that you make as an actor. It's not for the faint at heart. The Shy is available now on Showtime. It's streaming new episodes every Saturday night / Monday. If you haven't seen the show, you have to, because it's amazing and it's life-changing. And we are chatting with Shy royalty Judaea Brown, who plays Jemma St. John on the show. Excited to see how the rest of the storyline unfolds here for the final episodes. Thank you for joining us on the podcast today. It was an honor to chat with you.
No problem. Thank you. And I want to shout out our creator, Lena Wade. I mean, this was her vision and she brought it to life, and it keeps getting better and better every season. And Lena, we love you and we are so grateful to you for letting us tell this story.